Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to finish up Chapter 11 with a shortened version of 11.6. Okay, there's a few difficult parts to this section. We're not going to do those. We're just going to show you two straightforward things. Okay, so abbreviated 11.6. Topic today, surface areas and volumes of spheres. Okay, objective to find the surface area and volume of spheres. Let's get going with that. All right, so first off, definition for a sphere. I'm going to say it's the set of all points in space equidistant from a given point called the center. Okay, so we've got, basically we can think of a sphere as a ball, but we have a center. It's all the points that distance from the center all the way around. I'm going to say a radius is a segment that has one point on the center and the other point on an end point of the sphere. So in other words, radius goes from center to the edge, just like with a circle. And then a diameter is a segment passing through the center with endpoints on the sphere. Okay, so in other words, diameter will go all the way through, just like a circle. The radius will be half the diameter. Diameter is twice the radius, just like with a circle. Okay, basically a sphere is a three-dimensional circle. And as far as finding surface area, we have a very simple formula. I'm going to say surface area is just equal to 4 times pi times the radius squared. So in other words, if you know the radius, you just plug it in and you get the surface area. Okay, where is this formula coming from? You don't need to worry about that. Okay, you're not gonna see where it comes from until calculus. We'll just take its word for it and use it for now. All right, so let's go ahead and use that formula. Problem 1, find the surface area of each sphere. Leave answer in terms of pi. Okay, we just said that formula is equal to 4 times pi times r squared. Okay, so in the problem A, we've got 4 times pi times, now the radius here is 4, so that'll be 4 again squared. Okay, and this is simple. We want to leave the answer in terms of pi, so I'm just going to go 4 times 4 squared. That gives me a 64. And we'll say 64 pi yards squared, because we're talking a surface area, technically 2 dimensions. All right, I want you to take a minute, pause the video, run through part B, and then hit play to check your answer. All right, for B, I've got the same idea, 4 times pi times r squared. Now the only difference for B is notice that this 9 is the diameter, it's the distance all the way across. So what I've got to do is I've got to split that in half. If the diameter is 9, that means that 4.5 will be the radius. Okay, so my surface area then is 4 times pi times 4.5 squared. And leaving pi out of the mix, we'll go 4 times 4.5 squared. They'll give me an 81, and we'll say pi meters squared. All right, next up's our volume formula, and it's got a little more complicated equation to it. Okay, but still pretty simple. Still, we plug in the radius, we get the volume out. We're going to say volume of a sphere is 4/3 times pi times r to the third power. We'll talk about doing the 2 to the third in a second here. Okay, again, where does it come from? You need calculus to understand that. We're just going to use it, and we'll show you how to do that in one sec. All right, so let's run through part A. What's the volume of each sphere in terms of pi once again? Okay, we said V is equal to 4/3 times pi times r to the third. Okay, so for this one, we've got 4/3 times pi times, now once again, pay attention, we're given the diameter, and we want the radius, which will be half the diameter, 9. Okay, really one of the only ways I can mix these problems up on you is by giving you a diameter instead of radius. So we'll say 9 to the third. All right, now to do this 9 to the third deal, let's pull our calculators up, and let's get my face out of the way here. Okay, what does 9 to the third mean? Okay, well it means 9 times 9 times 9. Okay, 9 times itself 3 times. Okay, so it looks like it's 729. Now the quicker way we can enter that in the calculator is go 9 and then find this caret key, which gives me my exponent. Now if you have a more basic calculator and just has the caret key, that's fine. This one actually gives me exponent. But I'll go 3. Okay, so 9 to the third power is the same thing as 9 times 9 times 9, which gave me the same 729. Okay, so if I want to plug this guy in all in one step and leave it in terms of pi, what I can do is just 4 divided by 3. Then we'll go times 9 to the third. And that gives me a 972. So we'll say our volume's equal to 972. Again, in terms of pi, and we're talking millimeters to the third since we're talking volume. Okay, so again, pretty simple. All you're doing is plugging in the radius to this formula here. Part B is the same idea. I want you to pause the video, give part B a shot, and then hit play to check your answer. All right, so for B, we can say volume's equal to 4/3 times pi times the radius, which is 5, to the third. I'm going to pull my calculator up for that. Again, in terms of pi, we'll just go 4 divided by 3 times 5 to the third. Hit enter. And I get a 166.6 repeating, it looks like. We can say 166.6 repeating pi yards to the third. All right, that's it. Like we said, we're going to keep this section pretty simple. Don't worry about the rest of the note guide. We're done for this section. Do the homework for this one, and then move on to the practice tests. Okay, no quiz for this section, just a little bit of homework, short and sweet, and then you can start worrying about reviewing for the Chapter 11 test.